Hello everyone, this is Ronnie from UK Fruit Fest, and what I want to do this week is I'm going to release a series of videos that are based around something that I've written about in a book that is now available and will be available for this week exclusively, along with something called the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle. And there's a link, there should be a link below this video to find out more about that. It is basically 36 different raw vegan creators, authors, influencers, and so on have come together to create more than 40 different books and courses and programs to help people to learn more about a raw vegan lifestyle and learn about every aspect, the recipes, the mindset, dealing with cravings. There's also even entrepreneurial material in there for people that want to try and share this information with more people and turn that into a lifestyle or a business. And a vast amount of information there for people that are looking to learn more, even people that are already into this lifestyle. So check that out. It's available this week for a very low price. The book that I've written is called Raw Vegan Myths Debunked 2. And that would imply that there was a part 1, and indeed there was as part of the other bundle. So why have I written about this again? Well, let me read to you a little bit what I've said in the introduction to the book. What I've actually said here is, this book has been written out of necessity. Though I fully believe the raw vegan diet is the best and healthiest diet possible, I see two problems of misinformation occurring across the raw vegan community. One side of the misinformation is harmful to people as it either promotes dangerous practices, poor nutrition advice, or impractical diet recommendations. And that makes it difficult for someone to thrive on this diet. But the second side is there's information shared by educators which appears to go against the best interests of getting this message out to a wider audience. An example of that would be that they promote fruit or promote fruits and vegetables, but at the same time, they might say that to do well with this lifestyle, you have to be living in the tropics, eating local, organic, biodynamic fruit grown on enriched soil, perfectly tree ripened, and stuff like that. And otherwise, it's just got no nutrition and it's no good, you know. And to me, messages that, at least that's somehow the message comes across like that this diet's impossible to do. Basically, that's how it feels to people. And I believe we should emphasize how simple and powerful this diet is, and that any selection of fruits and vegetables from any source is always going to be far superior to other foods on offer. And that moving the world towards this lifestyle requires a much simpler, clearer, and stronger message on that. So it's important to drop the strange ideas, the myths that have often virtually no evidence around them. Many weird ideas have somehow become stuck onto the side of our raw vegan hot air balloon and are weighing us down. And we must be prepared to let these ideas go in order for the movement to truly take off and become a bigger thing for more people. So as much as possible, I've tried to find sources of evidence for all of the various arguments in the book. And just to go through a basic kind of outline of what's in the book, and I'll be going through some of these things in upcoming videos. I've talked about organic food. And for me, this is something that I really wanted to research because I never quite trusted what I was hearing about organic. I'd be speaking to someone, they would be very rational, very interesting, sharing information. And then all of a sudden their tone would change when the subject of organic came up, and they would become emotional, and this kind of conspiracy stuff came out. And I just thought, this doesn't matter. This doesn't sound right to me. And I wanted to find out what's the real evidence around organic. Because a lot of people get very emotional about it, but what's the reality about it? And I found out a lot of surprising things. So I'll share some of that with you in an upcoming video, and that's part of the bundle. I've also talked about, can you lose weight on a raw vegan diet by eating more? There has been at times a little bit of a feeling of just going on raw food is enough to lose weight in itself, or that you have to eat more on a raw vegan diet to lose weight, or you have to eat more even a vegan diet to help you lose weight. And especially if you have an eating disorder background, that your body needs to learn to trust you, and then it will lose the weight. Or you need to supply more food for detox, or whatever it is, whatever the idea that comes out is. There's a lot of misinformation around weight loss. So I wanted to go through that in the book and try and clear that up for people. And some people might not be happy with the reality of what I've shared in the book, but I think it's very important for those that have come into this movement partly to lose weight, or in a big part of it is to lose weight. Then it's important that they know the truth about that. And really, many people will lose weight on this diet, and they may feel like they're eating more than ever, but I'll explain how that all works in the book. Number 3, I talk about detox myths. This is a big thing for me, because one of the most, I don't want to say harmful, but yeah, harmful, damaging things to the raw vegan message is that people take this diet as a detox diet, as a short-term cleansing ritual, as something that can only support you for a short period of time to cleanse. And a lot of people get obsessed with the cleansing and the detoxing. They become self-obsessed with their own cleanliness, with their own fear around toxicities. And that is not what this lifestyle is about. That is not what we're trying to encourage people to get into. That's not the reason for this. For me, this lifestyle is about a diet that supports you, that once it has become your habit, and once it is easy and habitual for you, supports you, gives you the energy, gives you the clarity of mind, gives you the health, that you can then have a much greater impact in your life and in the things that are important, which are the things where you're helping other people and contributing to the lives of other people in your family, your friends, your community, your colleagues. And if you end up getting self-obsessed and continuously obsessed about the cleanliness of your colon and your insides, and you give up on life to go away to some island somewhere, to lie in bed all day, trying to cleanse over and over again, it's not a good approach. And it also shows sometimes a lack of actual trust in the magnificent processes of your body, because you start to think that we need to somehow do something to detox our body, rather than trusting in the fact that the body's always detoxing and has been every single moment of your life without your knowledge. Now all of a sudden you come along and think you're going to detox. Well, I've talked more about that in the book. And to me, it's really important to get people away from this harmful and damaging detox mindset. Number 4, I've talked about barley grass juice powder. So I've seen a lot of my friends and people in the raw vegan movement who are taking barley grass juice powder, or at the very least they're promoting it as a product. And some promote it strongly as a supplement, and some people suggest they've got good experiences with it. I've had a little bit of it before, and it added quite a nice flavor. I think it's got a good taste to it, but I don't see it as a necessary nutritional supplement. And I've written about that in the book. And in this book, I've actually looked into some of the claims made by one of the well-known brands and looked a bit more deeply into it to see if it could be a good supplement for a raw vegan diet. So I've looked into that. I've tried to find the research around barley grass juice powder, and you might find some of that interesting in the book. Number 5, I've talked about sprouts. Are sprouts the most nutritious food? And there are a number of raw food promoters who have made claims about sprouts being the most nutritious food, the best food for us, maybe the food we can live on. And I look at that in this book. Number 6 is kidney filtration. I've started to see over the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. All of a sudden, people were talking about kidney filtration. They were urinating in jars, observing their urine, sometimes sharing those pictures online to ask for advice about whether the kidneys were filtering or not. As soon as I saw that information, I thought that can't be right. Simply can't be right. And if you've ever met people with kidney problems, my brother's a kidney doctor, his wife's a kidney doctor. I have had a friend who, for a short period of time, had some kidney issues. In fact, I've had a couple of friends that have had kidney disease, or one at least. And if you have kidney problems, if your kidneys were not filtering, that would be something very serious. And you would know about that. You would not have to look at your urine, and you might not even be producing any urine. So, so I thought there was something wrong going on here, and I wanted to look a bit more into it. So I've done that with the book. Number 7, superfoods. Are they truly super? Superfoods or super con? Nowadays, superfoods isn't as much of a big buzzword in the world of health than in the raw vegan movement, but it really came out of the raw foods movement, the whole concept of superfoods. These are foods that claim to have high levels of nutrition above the normal foods, the non-superfoods, and they were a part of the marketing of the raw food movement for a while. So I have a look at that in the book. Number 8, a little bit controversially, I look at one that's something that we generally support, the idea that human beings are frugivores. Is that true, or is it a myth? Can we really claim that human beings are frugivores? Can we say that that's absolutely proven scientifically and so on? Well, I'll look at that in the book to see if we can actually get some research around that. Number 9, I talk about intuitive eating. A lot of people go through their life sleepwalking through their diet, their lifestyle choices. We come to a raw vegan diet, and all of a sudden they believe that they can intuitively listen to their body, and their body will tell them exactly what to eat. It's not something that works. It's not something that there's great evidence around human beings being good at. And I've talked a bit more about that in the book. Number 10, iridology. Once again, a lot of people now in the raw vegan movement seem to be interested in iridology and getting certified in it. And it's basically the practice of looking in the eyes to assess a person's health. I've looked at that a bit more in this book. Generally, it's not something that I support, but I wanted to have a look more into it and share what I learned. Number 11, I've talked about muscle loss. Is it true that on a raw vegan diet, raw vegans will lose muscle, not be able to build muscle? Number 12, raw vegans do not get sunburn. So that's a big one for me because, well, I've experienced sunburn a bunch of times. So clearly on a fruit diet, a raw vegan diet. So clearly it's not everyone that's going to work for. Maybe for some people it will, but I talk about that a bit more in that chapter about sunburn. Number 13, raw vegans do not need to brush their teeth. Probably one of the most important things. The world is full of people with tooth problems, people that don't eat any fruit. Billions and billions of people, literally billions, suffer from damage to their teeth as a result of a process called tooth decay. I've explained why that happens in the book. I've explained why that's not really anything to do with fruit, but I've also explained why raw vegans can have some bad teeth problems. And I've had some issues myself, and I've had to change a few things that I did to stop that damage from continuing. So I made mistakes. I don't want you to make those mistakes. So it's worthwhile getting the book for that alone. Number 14, bananas are a good source of potassium. A little bit of a fun chapter going over some of the foods that people think are high in certain nutrients. Bananas and potassium, oranges and vitamin C, and so on. Looked at those, compared them with some other fruits. If we were to compare them with other foods, we'd probably find there's a lot of other food sources, to be fair, particularly processed foods that have very high levels of these things. But do they really deserve the title of, the best source or the highest source of these nutrients? Well, I write about that in the book. 15 raw vegans can't get enough protein. I cover that. And there's a little bit about me in the book. So that is a I don't know what you call it, a summary of what is in the book. But along with that, you're going to get a whole bunch of things. So let me see if I can just go over now and try and find and try and open up the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle page and maybe show you a little bit of what is involved. Let's see if that works. So now you should be able to see this page. You can see it is $49. It's available for another 7 days at this time, but obviously if you've watched this video later, you'll maybe find a different time. And it's only available, this information, and it's mostly brand new stuff. I think it may be all brand new books and courses, and it's all available now. So we have 21-day summer meal plan from Chris Kendall coming up for summer. Very important. Checkmate Your Cravings. That's an e-course. There's a course there about sprouts, krauts and microgreens from Nathan Maris. There's a collaboration book with 60 recipes. Recipe book from Daniel McKinnon. He's fantastic. Raw Relationship, a book about raw relationships. Raw Vegan Basics Mastery, Yelena Perez. A breakfast and brunch book. Lifestyle guide. Another course about healthy raw vegan diet. More books. One, Karen Ramsey's course on the menopause for those who are at that stage of life. Another course about sushi. You've got a book there from Chef AJ, Dehydrator book, French cuisine, mistakes, sweets, transformation program, raw wraps, wheatgrass, raw vegan solutions course, you know, sweets and stuff and cakes and pies. So Mexican stuff, a book about orthorexia there, one about this collaboration book about acne. Keep going. Focus on the fruit from Lexi, a great message that I enjoy. 11-day yoga challenge, and also for the yogis, how to live your yoga teacher dream from Yoga Celebrity. And Angelica was a very successful yoga teacher back in the US, and now teaches others. You've got Ted Carr's entrepreneurial program here for those looking to go down the entrepreneurial path. And just more books, Gabrielle, more books. And there's me there, Raw Vegan Myths Debunked. So there you go. It's available now. You can check it out. You can ask me any questions about it. And yeah, intake it, enjoy it, store it, download it. You will be able to use it for life. You'll be able to go back to those books and guides and recipes for things. And I've used it a couple of times, these bundles, where I've been with someone and we want to just have a special night and make something special. And we go to the Raw Vegan Bundle, have a look through the books, have a look and find a recipe that looks good to us. And then we'll go and get the ingredients and make it together. And it can be really fun. So that's one of the main things for me, getting these recipes. But I mean, I usually live a pretty simple life. You know, for me, the raw vegan diet has become a simple thing, but these things are very good in transition for people starting off, and for people that are creative and like to make things in the kitchen. So thank you very much for watching this video. I will be following up this week with a range of videos going into a little bit more detail on each of these topics. Hope you enjoy, hope you learn something from it, and hope you have success with your raw vegan lifestyle. Thank you very much.